All right. Hello. It's Stephen Trevathan, and this is my third vlog. I am honestly, I think I'm going to title this one, I don't know. I think I'm going to title this one, Struggling to Start. In my previous vlogs, I think I've mentioned that kind of part of this is an effort to get a little bit more comfortable and just in the act of shooting video. And my eventual goal really is to do more videos from a professional perspective, kind of showcasing my skill sets in digital marketing and marketing strategy. And it's been a real challenge to just go and do a video. I don't know, this time around I keep getting caught up in I keep getting caught up in not really being able to decide on what the template I want to develop for these videos are. I think that's really kind of the big area for me right now is I need to just kind of find a template that I can recreate, or that I can fit these videos, these digital marketing tips videos into easily in a way that I could potentially turn around a video in a day. But that's kind of part of the problem. I'm happy I'm still making time to do this, and I'm shooting this at 11:30. It's been a long day. I got to this day started at 6:30 in the morning, and it's been pretty much nonstop till this point. But I'll give that to myself. I'm glad I still turned on the camera, because I was close to just letting another day go by. But I am still very much struggling with that aspect of wanting to have things perfect. And I think that's just, I'm going to have to find some way to let that go. I think funny enough, it's the thing that's kept me from doing more, I think engaging more with social media, actually sharing more posts. It's just always this thought of, I want to have it, so pristine and polished, and it's the thing that kills a lot of efforts like this is that desire. I don't have an audience yet. I don't really need to worry too much about that. I still needs to be compelling in some way, but I just need to pull the trigger. I began last week working on presentation notes for this video that I want to do about Google My Business posts. It's a fairly simple concept, honestly. It's really not anything crazy. This is a concept that someone that has almost no experience in online marketing, that they could grasp it quickly. It's just a great tip for, and that's actually kind of what makes it a really great tip too, because it's one that there's still a lot of opportunity around, business owners utilizing the Google My Business posts feature on their Google My Business account, and it really does garner some significant engagement. And in a nutshell, that's kind of what the video is going to be about. It's a great feature. It's one that not a lot of businesses are doing regularly. Actually, still a significant portion of them haven't done it at all. It's something that I found that we, as the agency that I work at, have dropped the ball on a bit. Honestly, we need to be recommending that as part of our kind of maybe an offshoot to our social posting strategies that we're giving to our clients. But that's the thing. It's, Google's providing you with pretty much all the tools you need for it. And I even found out doing research on this that they have a whole like free resource that they offer, which is really cool. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but it's essentially a toolkit. I mean, and it's all free from what I've seen so far. I mean, it has features like, if you have a review on you have really good, 5-star reviews on your profile, which every business should be implementing that aspect into their strategy to build their online presence, is garnering more reviews. And that's another thing I'm going to want to talk about. But this resource that they've offered, you can literally plug in the name of your Google My Business account into it, and it will kind of take you to your own little personalized suite for your business. You can plug in reviews, and it will essentially spit out a kind of nice little templatized look, visual graphic of the review. So I think from what I've seen, it's the same one for anyone. I don't know if you have the option to change the color palette on it or anything like that, but it's still pretty cool. I mean, it's just still, because there's still not that many businesses that are utilizing these Google My Business posts effectively or regularly. It's little things like that can still have a big impact, and that's really cool. It's something that'll be fun to talk about. Where I'm faltering on actually doing the videos, I still, going back to what I was saying before, is having an actual template for these videos. I like having the actual camera on me. It's kind of part of this is wanting to, practice, being in front of the camera more and talking in front of the camera. And that's, you can do that with some videos that are maybe cutting. What I'm thinking is having videos that cut between me and then shooting or taking screen recordings of me actually doing some interactions to showcase what I'm talking about. I think honestly that would be the quickest kind of way to put up an engaging video about what I'm trying to talk about, in a way that's also fairly quick to do. I think I have currently everything I would need to do that type of video, since even with that video, my editing needs for that would be pretty minimal. However, I have been thinking that I need to see if there's a way, because I would be recording my, what I'm doing on my computer using QuickTime. I'm a Apple user, and I'd be using QuickTime to just do a screen recording. And I don't know if, I still have a lot to learn when it comes to video editing, so I don't know what would be needed to do, potentially, blurring out any type of sensitive material. So, I don't see that there would be any issue with Google My Business, though I might still want to blur out business names. If it's a client of mine, I might not want to actually include that. So to have that ability to do screen recordings, but also easily blur out aspects of what's on that screen. Hopefully that's something that should be fairly easy to do just with the editing software that comes with the Mac. The iMovie, I think it is the app. It's nothing too crazy, but it has some good features, and when I used it before, so it should be possible. But I think that's kind of important, is to include that. What I might do is go back and look at what I did. I did a video for my solo kind of ArcLight interactive agency project, whatever. I guess I technically it's an agency, but I technically, at this point, it's hard for me to even think of it really as an agency. It's just kind of my brand name for my solo projects, but I did a video for that back in I think at the end of 2018. That was it was a nice video, but I don't know if I actually included any screen recordings or anything like that. I think it was still primarily me just talking about some concepts having to do with local SEO strategies, and I think I broke up the video with some title cards, and that was it. But I really want to take it to another level beyond that. That's kind of, that again brings us back to my initial point where I'm struggling to find the time to do it. As I said today, got started at 6:30 and have been pretty much working nonstop, with little breaks here and there. I mean, eat and actually work out and stuff, but that's pretty much it. It is tough to find the time to finish that up, but I feel part of me is kind of also still making an excuse. I just don't know how feasible it is to be making a personal branding video about some sort of digital marketing strategy tip with that level of detail going into it, while also maintaining this working schedule that I have. Maybe I think if I could aim to at least do one of those a month, I think it's probably still doable. But that's the thing. I mean, I think it would be nice to get to a point where I'm doing more than that. As much as I'm actually really getting that cathartic feeling from doing just these vlog style videos, it really needs to be something that I just come to a decision and actually just pull the trigger and go for it. And it's it's not going to be perfect, and that's fine, but I need to just go for it. And that's kind of a whole thing. I mean, again, it comes down to a lot of my goals this year. It's just there's just certain aspects where I've still managed to put things off, or just not pull the trigger, and I think a lot of it comes down to that fear, that fear of putting something out there that could be potentially mocked or judged, I guess. I was trying to think if there was a better term to say it, but I mean, really, that's kind of the thing, is judged, potentially mocked. You are putting yourself out there, and that's definitely hits the insecurity of mine. So that is something that has been tough. I still kind of, I like having the title for this vlog be "Struggling to Start," because I am definitely still feeling that. On more positive notes, though, I had, besides that aspect of it, I'm feeling good about a lot of other things. I'm really pushing myself to schedule almost a lot of other things a lot more. Things that were outside of just kind of, I think for most of the last year, primarily my online calendar I was using for my daytime agency stuff. So as we went remote, there's a lot more heavy usage on that calendar, but it still wasn't something I was using for a lot of outside of that window of 9 to 5 that I needed to be responsive to that team, that I was using that. But I've really found that aspect of, it's just easier, honestly, to stay to the things that I want to do if I'm putting it in the calendar. So, I've got several new things that I'm trying with that. I mean, including just putting in the calendar the time I want to work out. And that's another goal for this year, is trying to get most of my workouts done in the morning. It really does set up things for a much more smooth day, especially with this current workload. Even where, it's a funny thing, working from home primarily, it's, And it's just grown to a point where there's just, I'm trying to optimize wherever I can. So having that calendar's been great, and I'm experimenting with using it for other things. My wife and I are using it to schedule our own connection times. It's not the most romantic thing in the world. It's removed that spontaneity, but at this point, with her schedule in law school, it's really refreshing. It's nice. There's something about it where we weren't really putting time in before. I mean, especially when towards the end of her first semester, we were both, even though we were here in the same house most of the time, it felt like two ships just kind of passing the night. It was just that level of disconnect feeling, because we were just so zoned in on our stuff and we weren't setting a time to connect, and it's a powerful thing. So on that's a serious win. I am taking progressive steps into this new role with my daytime job, with my primary job, and had a really good meeting with the founder. I have hopes that in getting to work with her more closely, I could potentially have a really good mentor in the making here. I don't think that's kind of her default personality, is not geared specifically to I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I think she could be I think there's potential for her to be a mentor to me. I don't know if she actively looks to do that type of thing, is what I'm trying to say. But I really think that there's potential there. It feels like that right now. And that really is energizing for me in terms of, that aspect of it, because getting to kind of feel out our strategies for our clients more from that top-down view and working with her through it, it's really interesting. So we had a really good first meeting kind of about this big client today, and we're going to have follow-ups tomorrow, and just continuing to bring it as much as I can on that level. I love it. It's really, really nice. And I also got to connect with and about as much networking as I can do in the COVID world, but I'm trying to build a relationship with the chief marketing officer it's a really big company in Tampa, one that I just, for privacy reasons, I'm just not going to say the name, but one that is a fairly well-known name in the financial world. So really, really exciting connection. Just by chance, his wife knew my mother-in-law, and he was willing to talk to me. First time we talked was right before Thanksgiving, and so the holidays. So we had a brief conversation there, but followed up with him after we, after getting kind of started in this new year and in that zone of people getting back into work, and talked with him today, and just had a nice follow-up chat. And he actually he took the time to look through my resume that I sent him, which is way out of date. I haven't really actually updated my resume since being at Big C, and he gave me some really good tips. So that's something else that I can start working on, and so all that was great. And I need to practice dropping those negative feelings that come with not getting all the stuff I want done. It's, to be honest with you, it's a lot of stuff to try to cram into my schedule. So some things will have to be adjusted, some things will have to be moved, but me just doing this right here is a significant step, I feel, in the right direction in terms of building habits around that. The next thing I need to do is really, really kind of force myself to start using my social media again from a growth perspective, and putting myself out there as well, and kind of actually remarking and sharing and things like that. So that's another. That's definitely on the list of things I want to see if I can make some headway in February here. Because I still, it's crazy to think that that January is already almost over. It's wild. It is flown by. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of the things that I can look back on and be really happy about. And the other thing that I wanted to remark on too was, this last weekend, my brother and sister and I finally had our first get together for to record an episode for a podcast / potential YouTube series that we've been talking about doing for a long time. Especially my sister and I have been talking about this for a long time. But again, nothing crazy original here, but just watching bad movies and talking about it. And it's called Let's Talk Schlock is the current title. I mean, we might evolve it, but I'm a fan of that title. I like it quite a bit. We watched our first movie, and unfortunately with the pandemic, it's tough for us to all get together. We all live in different states, but we picked a movie that we all could rent. We all watched it. We took notes, and we got together and through Discord and did a 3-way video conference and record the audio, and I recorded some of the took some video recording as well, but I didn't get all of it because we actually ended up talking for a long time, but it was a lot of fun. So we did that finally, and that felt really great too, to actually do that. And talking about what I was saying before with the actual push to doing, putting more things in the calendar. I think that was a big reason why that happened is, I put it in the calendar. And we stuck to it. We did it. I already have ideas for the next video I would like to do. And I can't wait to do another one with them, because it's a fun way. I don't really have a plan to actively promote that to a point where it would potentially build any real audience, but just as I do love just talking about just crappy movies like that, and it gives us another way to stay connected, which is great. It was really nice. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about doing the next one there, and trying to stay feeling balanced with all these different things I want to do. I realize that it's just not going to be feasible to maintain all this regularly. I'm going to have some dips here and there, but my promise, to myself and to anyone who ever ends up watching this, is to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to do the best I can, and that's kind of a big part, I think, of how my approach is going to be for 2021. I think realistically, it's actually really been the approach I've taken for the last, really, the last 5 years for sure. I think, that I've always set that goal of, I want to feel like I'm at a significantly better place at the end of the year than I was at the beginning, and I feel like I've been able to reach it. I've been able to reach that goal each year over these last 4 or 5, but that's kind of the interesting thing, because each year that's becomes harder to do. I've made progress in my life, and that means for me to continue to try to achieve that goal, I really have to continue to step up my approach to basically everything, and that's how that feels this year. So that all feels really good. It really feels like a solid start. There's a lot that needs to still be done, there's a lot that still needs to be improved on. So me just saying that right now, I know I can identify the things I can continue to work on. But I was watching, interestingly enough, I was watching it took a little time today during lunch, and I watched a TED Talk by a Shaolin master, and it was really, really interesting topic, one that was resonating with me, especially in this moment. But I mean, would resonate with me really at any point in these last few years where I've made that goal to be in a better place. But it was kind of talking about that aspect of how in that the Shaolin teachings, how they approach the aspect of driving towards a goal, setting a goal and actually getting there. And he used an analogy that was about I think it was another Shaolin monk who had this dream of wanting to climb this mountain, and had started out by seeking other travelers that had climbed the mountain and trying to learn from their experience and how they did it, and in order to try to improve his approach. But inevitably ended up talking to so many travelers that he felt he didn't need to actually climb it anymore, and never did. And that is the sad aspect of that analogy, right? Because as he said, that feeling of clarity that you would get at the top of that mountain is something that you could never truly describe to someone else. It's something that you'd have to experience for yourself. And I'm almost down. I really need to figure out how to be able to record for more than 30 minutes. But the big thing there is that there are these certain things that, these feelings and these emotions that come into place that start to derail you from starting a goal and seeing it all the way through. And one of the first ones, well, I don't know if it was the first one, but I know one of those was talking about that buildup of holding on to negative feelings. So me holding on to that feeling of disappointment just because I still haven't gotten out this nice branded video is something I gotta start. I gotta learn how to let that type of emotion go, because it's actually only making it harder for me to really complete my goal. And that's something that it was eye-opening, because I know I've held on to those emotions before as a way to as a feeling of motivating me. But either way, last few seconds, third vlog video. Thank you.